So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Agency Incubator. Over the space of the next few weeks, months, and potentially even years, I'm really just going to be a mentor to you, a trusted advisor, potentially a friend, and this community, the Grow Your Agency community, really is going to become your family and just your support system. So, as I said, I just want to give you a warm welcome to the program, and let's get straight into the first module. So, guys, as I said, welcome to Agency Incubator. Let's go ahead and sign some whales. Now, first things first, let's just talk about the course Code of Honor. Now, what we're going to be talking about in today's teaching is how to get support with this course, how to access the Facebook group, as well as the live Q&A calls. Just want to touch on the track record of this course, just, once again, just so you're at ease and you really know the work that's gone into it, and just the results that, this course has spat out in the past. How to guarantee failure, and while that does sound a little bit dire, it's true. I'm just going to go over a couple points on, if you do these things, you will more than likely fail. And that kind of brings us on to the next portion, which is pitfalls to watch out for. Then I want to talk about a little bit about the process, our tiered system, as well as how to actually go ahead and guarantee success. Now, how to get support with this group. First things first, if you have absolutely any questions at all in regards to how do I do this, or how do I set this up, or what do I say here, honestly, 99% of the time when you have a question, it's literally inside the course or the plug and play sheets. So all you have to do is skim through the training and you'll probably find a module with detailed training on what it is that you are actually looking for. Now, if you rewatch the course or just sort of skim through the course and you still can't get an answer to your question, then go ahead and post in the Facebook group. All right. This is the first place you should go to get support. And this is the place that, sometimes you can literally get an answer in 30 seconds, sometimes 30 minutes, and sometimes 3 hours. But nonetheless, usually within, 6 hours, your question is answered. So as I said, this is the first place you should go to. My team at Grow Your Agency is full of expert coaches, and all you have to do is just see the plug and play sheet attached. It'll be right below this video. You can download it. So on that plug and play sheet, you'll be able to find out a little bit more about your coaches. So obviously I have myself, but I have a expert team of coaches, and these aren't coaches that one day woke up and decided that they'd be agency coaches. These are people who have actually worked in my organization, work within my agency, IG Media. Some of the, an example of one of the coaches, Kieran, he's literally worked at Times Magazine and managed 400,000 pounds a month in retainers in the past. So we have some heavy hitters in the mix. So whenever you ask a question, the rest of the community will be there to help. And I can say this wholeheartedly, we have hands down the best community. So if your question still doesn't get answered, you can specifically tag one of my team. So as I said, see the plug and play sheet down below. And by the way, whenever I put PMP from now on, that basically just means plug and play. So go ahead and just see the plug and play to actually go ahead and join the group. So that'll be available for download right below. So on there, you can see what coaches are better or more well-versed in what. And with that knowledge, you can know who probably is best to tag in your question if the community doesn't answer it first. As I said, just wait 12 hours or so. More than likely someone in the community will answer it. If not, then you can also tag one of the coaches. So to join the group, download that plug and play sheet. It'll have the link in there. Answer the questions, agree to basically the terms, which basically, basically the terms of the Facebook group is just be courteous. And you'll get accepted within don't know why that says 25, but 24 to 36 hours usually. Now, the group Q&A calls, if you have something more in depth, say for example, you have a question about maybe ads or a funnel or, a specific sales scenario we're in, my best recommendation is save it for one of the live Q&A calls. These calls are hosted in a way that myself or one of my coaches can actually unmute you. So that way we can speak one-on-one. It's almost like having a one-on-one coaching session. So it's a group live Q&A call, but once we unmute you, it's literally like we're talking one-on-one. So once again, go ahead and see the PNP to see times and sign up for the next call. And once you're signed up for the next call, you'll basically be signed up to all the calls after that, and you'll get a notification 1 day and 1 hour before the live calls. And if you want your question answered super quickly, make sure you're on the live call before it starts. Get there early, and make sure you ask the question first. And once again, you'll get accepted within 24. Once again, don't know why that says 25. 24 to 36 hours usually is the time frame. And the last sort of place you can go to is Help Center. So if you still cannot get help or want a quick solution, you can actually check out the Help Center. I spent a long time answering frequently asked questions on there. So once again, this will be there'll be a link to the Help Center in the plug and play sheet below. And on there, literally, I have almost 100 frequently asked questions. So actually, that's a lot of time that can be the best place to start, is check out that Help Center, because you can get an answer in literally 30 seconds. And if you still cannot get an answer, or you're still struggling, maybe you have some billing questions, etc., all of that stuff goes to support@growyouragency.com, and one of my expert coaches will be on hand to answer your questions. So once again, if there's ever any sort of billing questions or anything more logistical, always make sure you email support@growyouragency.com, and our expert coaches are on hand. Now, very, very important, if you have any sort of if you have any question, this is the way to answer it. If you privately message me or privately message one of my coaches, quite frankly, we just won't respond. The way we've been able to get such incredible results for the community is by keeping things streamlined. And we'll talk about this a little later on in the down the line. This is really how you get incredible results for your clients, is set boundaries, build systems so they have a good support system. As I said, you can see right here, there's almost 4 different sort of fail safes. If you still can't get your question answered, we have 4 different fail safes. So that way we make sure that everyone's question is answered and everyone has, just expert support on hand. So that's how to get support. Now, just quickly going over through some Facebook group rules. First things first, answer someone else's question before you ask one, right? If if you're about to ask a question, quickly skim through the Facebook group and just see if there's a question that you can answer. If you genuinely don't know the answer to it, don't answer it just for the sake of it. But if there's something that you might know the answer to, or if, for example, someone did their first post in the community and they're a new member, or there's been a welcome post or whatever, or someone just signed a client, support them, give them props. And this is really, as I said, this is really how we've built such an incredible community thus far, and by far the best community, in pretty much any, the entire online course space. Now, the next thing is welcome new members and just celebrate people's success. Thirdly, only answer questions you 100% know the answer to or have experience with. This is super, super important. If someone asks a question in the group and you remember what my answer was in the course itself, then, you can go ahead and answer using that. Or if you can even answer using with your own experience. Say, for example, someone has a dental niche specific question or a real estate niche specific question or whatever it may be, and you have the answer to it based on your own experience, go ahead and answer that question. But it's really important that you don't answer a question that you might not be confident in, because then that gives people misinformation, and a lot of time that can be worse than not even having the information in the first place. The next thing is no promotions or farming for your own self benefit. We've seen it before, and we're very, very good at spotting it. My coaches have almost this motherly instinct, so they're the ones sort of patrolling the Facebook group and just making sure that no one's posting their webinar link or their coaching link or this thing or that thing. We've spotted people in the past, and unfortunately they've had their access to the Facebook group revoked because they did break the rules. The next thing is no negativity, complaining, or whining. Look, everyone might go through a tough time with a client, or maybe they didn't get the outcome they wanted, or this thing or that thing. Don't ever post any negativity in the group. Just be like, hey, I had a terrible day. One of my clients, even though I brought them results, they still don't see the value in it. Has anyone experienced this? Blah blah. If you want to vent, but in a way that's almost constructive, go ahead and do that. But just pure negativity, complaining, or whining. Look, we're here to win and build, incredible lifestyle businesses. So just, we really don't tolerate any of that. And here's the thing, if you break any of these rules, you will be removed from the Facebook group. It's just as simple as that, really. And my team and I have worked tirelessly to make sure that it's the best community out there. We've gone to the point where we can say hands down, we have the best community of winners and support. And once again, that's thanks to people like you, people who come in and realize the fact that this isn't just a course. Yes, the video material in here is the best in the industry, bar none, hands down for this price point. That's a given. But really what makes it top notch is, once again, the expert coaches I have on hand, the systems that we've built to make sure you get the support you need, and most importantly, the community of winners and support that you get with this group. Now, last thing, when someone else wins, you win, and when you win, someone else wins. All right, this is a paradigm that I want you to carry through. So when someone else wins, you celebrate for them, because that's a win for you. A win for the community is a win for you. And as I said, when you win, you're going to see the sort of response that you get from the entire community. It's not just going to be some fake, oh, great job. You'll be able to tell people actually care and people really want you to succeed in this program. Now, let's quickly talk about the track record of this course. All right. Now, before this course was called Agency Incubator, or, the last agency program that I had was Six Figure SMA. So that was the last course that I had. And that course, a lot of people from that course migrated over into Agency Incubator, and the results have just been just astonishing. It blew my mind. On the 1 year anniversary, myself and Kieran, who's the product manager at Grow Your Agency, we actually put out a massive survey, and the results were just incredible. So from Six Figure SMA, in exactly 1 year, we had over 1,100 active students in the first 12 months. And 43 of those actually went on to make 6 or 7 figure a year incomes, right? Some people were making 10K a month, some people were making 20K a month, some people were making 45K a month. But 43 of those people were making minimum 10K up to, I think our top earner was doing around 65K a month. All right. So just absolutely insane stuff. And once again, when I mention these numbers, I'm talking profit. A lot of time you'll hear people say, oh, I make, 200K a month, 300K a month, this thing, that thing, when in fact they don't. They make 200K a month, but their profit margin is literally 10%. Like literally, that's most businesses. So they're only taking home 20K. Right. So when we talk about the numbers in Six Figure SMA, or when I'm talking about the numbers in Six Figure SMA, when we talk about the numbers in the Grow Your Agency community, we're talking profit, because profit is the only thing that, profit's the only thing that really matters at the end of the day in this sort of business. And the next thing, which was absolutely incredible to see, was 298 jobs quit, and I should probably add that in there, jobs quit or college avoided. Right, so 298 people actually quit their job or avoided going to college because of that program. And you can see some of the results right here on the top left. Made 11K this month, and at the bottom, Six Figure Club month number 1. Adrian right there. Alert, your boy is back. Just landed an $8,000 a month client, which equates to roughly 6,186 pounds. And you can see Robin, this is a really cool one, because, while the other two on the left, they're making 11K a month, Adrian is making $8,000 just from one client. I really like this one from Robin, because he said, quick update, $4,000 from 2 clients, not including ad spend, 3 additional clients to sign up this month. But what was really cool was he went on to say, seen as an expert within the field from the content provider from Course within my city already. However, the biggest win, in my opinion, being congruent with who I am and ultimately quitting my high-paying IT gig. So, he had a high-paying IT job, but he just didn't feel as though that's what he wanted to do with his life. So he quit, got into Six Figure SMA, as I said, which is basically the old Agency Incubator, got into Six Figure SMA and, bagged 2 clients for $4,000 a month. He goes on to say, this feels aligned with who I am and what I want from life. All right, incredible. The next thing is RC Simon. You can see some of his invoices coming in from the beginning of the month. We have a $2,000 client right there, $3,400, $2,500. So some big retainers right there. We have another one of our students who goes on to say, just finished your course and signed my first client on a $2,000 retainer. Okay, I'm just gonna say Abdul rather than full name, to avoid butchering it. But guys, I closed a client, small whale, worth approximately $10,000. Jack goes on to say, I finished six-figure SMA and have already, and I already have a $3,000 per month retainer first week. Jonas says first meeting. So his first meeting, he signed a client. First meeting, first win, service fee $4,500 a month, and ad spend an extra $2,500 a month. Mariah, one client alone from her pays her nearly $12,000 a month. So she basically has a client who she, as you can see right there, she does a bit of social media management for. She charges a flat $4,000 a month service fee, and then she also takes a percentage of what she makes them, which you can see comes out to $7,000 for that month. Stuart goes on to say, close my first client at $1,800 per month, so $2,300 a month. If you're reading this and still struggling, keep going. Your first deal is just around the corner. Trust me. Now look, guys, I'm sure that almost felt like a webinar to you. And the reason I just wanted to go through those examples right there is because this first week is going to be a really sensitive time for you, where you're almost thinking, did I make the right decision? Did I not make the right decision? Is social media marketing for me? Should I just go back to working at Walmart? Is entrepreneurship for me? And once again, there's nothing wrong with that. But as I said, this first week is a sensitive time for you, as funny as that sounds, but it really is a sensitive time, and it's a time where you really need to get reinforced that you have such incredible support in this program. The track record of this program is so good, better than anything else I've seen in the agency space, or online education courses for agency specific. So you need to know that, right? And you need to embrace that, and that should give you so much confidence moving forward. So let's get back into it. Now, the craziest thing is that that was the old influence systems, right? They were able to get all of those results with the old information, and the information in Agency Incubator and the structure and support is literally, and this is no word of exaggeration, 10 times better. Now, I want to introduce you to our tiered system and the six-figure club, right? So this is basically our tiered system at growyouragency.com. So when you sign a client who pays $1,000 to $3,000 per month, you get a fish, right? That's a fish client. And you get a couple of these clients and you're already making a full-time income, right? We get students catching fish every day, and it's it's pretty cool. It's a good place to start. And once again, you can even see examples right there where you just literally get 2-3 fish clients, and you can basically, you have a full-time income and you can quit your job. The next one is a shark client. So a shark client is a client who pays anywhere from $3,000 to $8,000 per month. And this is where you're getting into some more serious territory. And one of these clients, just literally one alone, and you can quit your job and have a full-time income. And it's always a very, very proud day when a student signs their first shark, because that's really where they're starting to elevate and move into a higher tier. And then lastly, we have the big boy, which is the whale client. Now, this is a client that pays $8,000 per month or more. And if you sign and keep on one of these clients for a year, they're going to bring you more. They're going to bring you in more than $100,000 in just service fees. So that one client alone will make you six figures. And this is the greatest catches of them all, and they're really the North Star for everyone in the community. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, really the goal is to try and sign those whale clients. And a whale client, we've had people sign clients that are $8,000 a month and $16,000 a month and even $20,000 a month. And, that's actually why I have Wilbert the whale over there. You might be wondering, why the hell do I have a whale statue? I don't know how well you can see it behind my head, but that is Wilbert the whale. And let's get on to what you actually get once you join the six-figure club. Now, once you hit your first month making $8,300 from your agency, you're officially part of the six-figure club. And $8,300, if you times that by 12, makes just roughly $100,000 a year. So that's why, if you're hitting $8,300 a month, then you're roughly making a six-figure a year income. Now, once you join the six-figure club, and once you join the six-figure club, and by the way, to apply to the six-figure club, it'll be on that plug-and-play sheet right below this video. But once you join the six-figure club, the perks are you actually get a Wilbert the whale. So what's going to happen is you'll actually get sent out your own six-figure club prize, a Wilbert the Whale statue with your name inscribed on it. And these bad boys cost $300 a pop, and they look absolutely stunning. This is actually just the render because we're actually in the process because we have so many people in the Six Figure Club. I've just been trying to find an award that is fitting to the accomplishment that you've achieved. And as I said, we finally found one. So it looks somewhat similar to this. This is just a rendering of it, but they actually cost $300 a pop, and they look stunning. And you're gonna have the pride of seeing this on your desk every day. So once you join the Six Figure Club, we're gonna send this out to you with your name on there as well. You'll also get invited to private dinners. So I'm going to be hosting private dinners whenever I travel abroad for just exclusively the Six Figure Club members, right? And these dinners are going to be all expenses paid by me, so everything covered by me. And you're actually going to go ahead and get a chance to meet some of the other successful students face to face. So private dinners all around the world. When I do travel, I'm hosting one of these dinners just so all the Six Figure Club members can meet. And then the last thing is to apply. Go ahead and check out the PMP sheet below this video, and you'll find info on the application form. On there, you basically just have to show proof of your retainers, etc., a little bit about you, and then from there, you'll go ahead and be accepted into the Six Figure Club. Now, here is just a little breakdown of what the Grow Your Agency community does when we actually go ahead and sign a new client. All right, and when we sign a new client, it's as I said, really just a whole community. We celebrate. It's just an incredible day. So what we go ahead and do is we actually make a post in the Facebook community with what tier of catch we got. And we actually go ahead and write a debrief of exactly how we found the lead, how we sold them, and how we will deliver the results for the community. And then we go ahead and celebrate with the rest of the community. So you can actually see John right here. He signed a client for $4,000 a month. And we actually used to have an old tier system. We used to have a fish and a whale was $5,000 a month or more, and a whale was less than $5,000 a month. Now, because people are getting such incredible results, we had to go ahead and add a fish, shark, and whale tier into the mix. So as you can see, John went ahead and with our old system caught a fish for $4,000 a month, which would now be a shark. And it's really funny. He actually photoshopped his profile picture on a fisherman catching a fish, which is totally hilarious. But what else he did was he wrote a debrief on where the lead came through. You can see I connected with this lead through LinkedIn and sent an intro message with no response. And then he also goes on to say how he plans to get results for this client. Now, we used to have only a fish and a whale, but people were getting such amazing results that we needed to add another tier in. As I said, I already explained this to you, and these are the tiers: fish, shark, and whale. Now, I'm always active in there sharing my latest catches and writing a debrief on there. So as most of you guys know, I've still actively run my agency. At times we try to bolster up how many retainers we have and how much we're bringing in from the agency, basically depending on the education company and how time intensive it is at that moment. Or, if it's super time intensive, growagency.com, then I'll try to bolster it down and try to do more consulting to still keep the revenue high. But the point is, I'm in the trenches every single day. And whenever I sign a client, it's funny, it still hasn't lost that magic. Even to this day, when I sign a client, it honestly makes my week. Like, I think about it all week, and it just makes me smile all week. So when I sign a client, I actually do my own debrief. So exactly like the example you saw with John, I do my own debrief. I post a screenshot of me receiving payment. I post a whale or a whale if it is a whale client. And once again, I just write a debrief of how they came in. Sometimes I'll even throw in some screenshots of the outreach I sent, etc., etc. So you can see one of those examples right here. Now, as I said, this is really just the best feeling in the world. You can see Justin Lamb, he actually locked in a fish client at $1,500 per month. And once again, you can see in October, so far for the month of October, I've closed $6,500 worth of deals already, right? So pretty good month for him. So number one, signing a client. So Obviously, the most amazing feeling is securing a client and receiving payment from them, right? That's an incredible feeling. But once you do that, it becomes kind of this running joke where we find a hilarious photo or meme. You can see he found a little a fish photo, and basically, we go ahead and we scour the internet for a photo of a fish, or a photo or meme of a fish, shark, or whale, depending on what you signed. And then we go ahead and we start writing out the debrief. So we hop on over to the Facebook community, we write out the debrief and attach the photo of your catch and a photo of the Stripe or bank payment if you have that handy and it's not too inconvenient. And then the next thing is we celebrate, right? And then what's going to happen is you're just going to get a flood of comments on your posts of people thanking you for your debrief and genuinely congratulating you on your success. A community that genuinely wants you to win. Now, we've talked a lot about success and the ridiculous track record of this course, but the truth is you get out of this course what you put in. So I just kind of want to, go over how to guarantee failure, all right, which sounds pretty intense, but, at the end of the day, you need to know what sort of things to look out for and And if you go into this process, doing these things, more than likely you're going to come out being a failure, as harsh as that sounds. So number one, and probably the most obvious, is not putting in the work. If you don't put in the work, you won't get results. Simple as that. So don't expect to watch the course, make a few cold calls, send some emails, and get a client. That's not how it works. The next thing is blaming externals. Here's the thing. Life is like poker. Some get dealt a good hand and some get dealt a bad hand. It's what you make of that hand that truly defines you. So never blame anyone or anything else for your shortcomings. From today, you take 100% ownership of your life and where you are. Now, the next thing is not being patient. Look, it took me 7 months from getting my first client to getting my second client. So I got my first client, I believe it was August of 2016, and I got my second client February of 2017. So that's almost 6 months, 7-ish months. So be patient. If you don't get a client for 2 months or even 5 months, it's okay, just as long as you're patient and you keep chipping away at it and you keep putting in the work. And the last thing is not using support. Guys, I have elite level coaches on hand. I have coaches on hand, including myself, that you would literally have to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 an hour for, right? That's what I charge some of my clients, right? So you really just have elite level coaches on hand that I've paid for and I have just begged them and worked tirelessly to make sure that they are a part of the Grow Your Agency community, because quite clearly they could just go off and be coaches themselves, or some of these people have agencies themselves, so they could just focus on that. But I've brought them into the Grow Your Agency community. I've brought them into the vision and really what we're doing with this community. And because of that, we have the best online business community in the world. And we have our live Q&A calls. We have the Facebook group for a reason. You're mentoring through the process. I think I misspelt that, but here's the thing. Apart from the incredible apart from the incredible content that you get from the program, the Facebook group and the live calls and the mentoring that you get from that, they're pretty much just as valuable, if not even more valuable. All right. So make sure you use those support systems. But here's the thing. The biggest cause of failure is super simple. It's just giving up, right? If you look at a photo of these two guys, and the amount of times I've seen this photo, it is so cliche, but it's true. It really paints a picture that, one person who just keeps chipping away at it no matter what, of course he's going to win over the guy who keeps chipping away at it, slightly gets disgruntled or it's just so close but gives up, decides that, he's too tired, it's not for him, etc., etc. Of course, the person who just keeps chipping away day in, day out, of course that person is going to win over the person who chips away at it and then when it gets hard, just decides to quit. All right, so that is really the only time you can fail in this process. We have too much success, we have too much support for you to not win. All right, so the only way you can fail is if you give up, and it's as simple as that. So you are really just one client away. So giving up, this is the ultimate failure because it means that you gave up on who you could have been. And when you give up, it's over. You're out of the game. This process is gonna be full of ups and downs, but when you pull the plug on this vision, you end it. That is really the only time you can ever, that's really the only time that you can ever lose, is just by giving up. And to be quite frank, it's selfish. All right. I wanted to give up so many damn times along my journey to building a multi-six-figure agency, but I knew it could literally be the most selfish thing that I could ever do. Literally the amount of times that, and if any of you guys, thoroughly know my story, you knew that I was in school. I was trying to juggle school. Obviously, I wasn't doing it very well. I was a terrible student, but I was trying to juggle school and building an agency. I was getting 2-3 hours of sleep a night consistently because I was trying to build my business while taking care of my mom, while still managing the school thing. And of course I wanted to give up. I wanted to give up all the damn time. But if I had, my mom and I would literally be homeless right now, or even worse, she'd still be in a nightmare marriage. And once again, if any of you guys, really know my story, the situation with my mom, with my family, how dire it was. And it really was the fact that I built a multi-six-figure agency that means that, I can take care of her, I can support her, and I can protect her in the way that she protected me growing up. And if I had given up, I would have had to continue to leech off friends. I remember when I was younger, obviously, look, at the end of the day, it wasn't my fault. My mom had no money, but my friends used to pay for me all the time. My friends used to pay for me all the time. My ex-girlfriend, she used to pay for me. And I just, what that does to your self-respect when you have to rely on other people so heavily, it really is just the most painful thing on earth. And it's the most painful thing on earth. And it's a pain that's quite hard to describe because it just feels like shame. And shame is one of those emotions that to me is way worse than pain or sadness. Shame is just, I don't know. You almost feel dirty. And I know this might sound like a bit of exaggeration because, all I'm talking about is me having to rely on other people. But it really is that, I've always known that I want to be the rock and the person for, really just the rock for my mom, for my friends, the person that my friends, my mom, the people I care about and love. I always knew that I wanted to be the person that they could rely and trust on, but I wasn't that, right? And as I said, if I had given up, I wouldn't have been able to buy my old mentor a Rolex for his birthday. That was a crazy, crazy awesome experience, buying a Rolex, a $10,000 Rolex for my mentor for his birthday, for kind of, taking me under his wing and kind of helping me not really in the agency or marketing space, but just almost being an older brother, being able to take care of people for me when I basically had zero. And, retiring my mom, if that's what she wants to do. All of this was possible because I wasn't selfish. I didn't give up. I didn't throw in the towel, right? If I did throw in the towel, that literally would have been the most selfish thing I could have ever done. So just remember this. Giving up is truly the only way you can fail at this process. Look, not signing a client for 5 months or losing a client because you didn't get them results is not failing. That is not failing. That is practice. And everyone goes through it. The only true and definite failure is giving up because that's something you can't come back from. Okay? Now, the moment you give up, it's over. You may not have to live with the pain of trying, but you must live with the pain of regret. The sort of pain that eats you away from the inside. The sort of pain that kills your sanity and keeps you up at night. Now, this is available for printout right below this video. There'll be a download to it. I strongly recommend you print this out and keep this somewhere in your house. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the process. So week 1 is obviously what you're experiencing. It's foundations. Week 2 is mindset. Week 3 is systems and processes. Week 4 is sourcing and qualifying leads. Week 5 is sales. Week 6 is service delivery. Week 7 is operational supremacy. And week 8 is the next evolution. All right, so let's quickly talk about how to guarantee success in this program. We've already talked about how to guarantee failure. Number 1, focus on you. It is time to shut off the world. Protect yourself from the news. Protect yourself from toxic friends. Protect yourself from social media and focus on you and your business. Now in week 2, I'm going to be going, much further into detail about how to actually protect yourself from social media, keep your focus aligned, how to protect yourself from toxic friends, and really make sure that you are making your life as easy as possible outside of business so that you can have the most success possible. All right. This isn't just some course where I'm going to show you how to build a 6-figure and beyond business, because I am going to show you that, right? I'm going to show you that better than I've seen anyone else be able to do it before, simply because of our success. But it goes much farther than that, right? It goes much farther than that in terms of I'm going to be able to show you how to structure your life, structure your systems, and just really build this support system around you that'll just take you far beyond 6 figures. It'll just make you way happier, way more focused, way more calm. This is, I sound like a broken record here, but this really is just going to be the most transformative thing you have ever done in your life. I guarantee that. Now, celebrate wins. All right, that's another way to guarantee success. Celebrate every single win. When you land your first meeting, reward yourself with a nice coffee or a smoothie at your favorite place. When you land your first client, celebrate by spending 10% of that retainer on something nice for yourself. So, if you close your first client for $2,000, go ahead, buy yourself something for $200, right? Celebrate those wins. And when you get a good result for your client, right? And by that, I mean, your client messages you that, hey, the cost per lead's good, or hey, our social media is growing, or whatever service you decide to move forward with, reward yourself with a new book, right? Get yourself a new book, or something small, less than $30, and just reward yourself. And every win, small or big, should be appreciated. This is how you build momentum and you start to get more buy-in. You see, people, the reason that someone like Michael Jordan can be so good at his craft, or Kobe Bryant, for example, is because they keep building momentum and they celebrate little wins, right? They celebrate little wins, or at least they must have done this at the beginning. They celebrate little wins, and with that, they start to associate pleasure around this thing. The issue is, a lot of the time people will build their businesses and they'll be so hard on themselves, and now their brain literally associates pain with business, when instead building a business they should associate that to pleasure. All right, so go ahead and celebrate wins. The next thing is printer. If you don't already have one, I strongly recommend you get a printer with high quality paper. So you can just look up 100 GSM. That's the thickness that I recommend. But as I said, I strongly recommend you get a printer, and you can actually get a good printers for literally $100 nowadays, and they even come with some ink. And the power of taking the worksheets, the book cliff notes, the resources, the quotes, and printing them to keep all around your house is so invaluable. I literally have printed paper all over my house full of book cliff notes, notes, quotes, and stuff that really drills success into my head. And you can see an example right here. This is the book cliff notes that I think should be in the resources section of this program. But you can see right here, I have tons of cliff notes. So whenever I read a book, I compile it into cliff notes. I print it out, and once again, you can use this, you can print it out. I also recommend that stuff like this printout, go ahead, print that out, keep it around your house, and it'll be such a valuable reminder to you on your journey. Now, the action step for this specific module is make an income goal for your first year and post it in the Facebook group. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this first module of Agency Incubator. As I said, go ahead and make an income goal. So put it out there. It's so funny. People are so scared to just put it out there and be honest what they want, right? Because they're afraid of fear of failure. But when you put it out there, your chances of succeeding literally goes from here to here. All right, so make an income goal for your first year. Do you want to make $60,000 in your first year? And here's the thing: if you literally want to make on average $4,000 a month, so let's just say $50,000 a year, there's nothing wrong with that. That means that you have been able to, rather than working in the rat race, working 40 hours, commuting an extra 10 hours a week, you've been able to replace that income with social media marketing, literally, just take care of maybe 1, 2, or 3 clients and, build this dream lifestyle of yours. So as I said, whether your goal is to make $50,000 in your first year, $100,000 in your first year and get to that 6-figure club, or make 250,000 in your first year. Or, I know there's a lot of people coming into this process who are already making 50,000 a month, right? So maybe your goal is to get to 100,000 a month and get to 7 figures this year. So as I said, no matter what your situation is, go ahead and make an income goal. Introduce yourself. So first things first, introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, make an income goal, and then post it in the Facebook group just so we can get acquainted with you. And the rest of the community can basically just give you a warm Grow Your Agency welcome. So as I said, I hope you enjoyed this program, or I hope you enjoyed this module, and I'll see you in the next one.